Hello, it's Julia Sweeney, and I thought I would make a quick video for Substack that I am calling the Julia Sweeney Academy Award Awards. I'm going to go through all of the nominated films for the Academy Awards, which is on Sunday, and I'm not going to predict what I think will win because I have no idea about the politics of the Academy Awards, nor do I care to know about it. The only thing I'm using the Academy Award nominations for is to kind of assemble what is generally thought of as the best of what came out last year and using it as a template through which I can make my way and decide what I think is the best in each category. To me, that's all I can do. I do not like any speculations about what is going to win and what's not going to win because I don't have time for that, nor do I want to even think about that. And I came up with here's my award. Look at how she's sort of dressed for the Academy Awards, and she's my award. This is the Julia Sweeney Academy Award Award. Okay, let's go through it. I just printed out this thing on Rotten Tomatoes, and I took out some categories like original score and original song and sound and editing and visual effects because I don't know if I can properly decide between those films what I really think is the best. Um, so I'm starting with Best Picture. So I'm starting with the big thing first. Okay, Best Picture. My runner-up, Nickel Boys. I really love Nickel Boys. I have not read the book. I tried starting the book a couple of times. I couldn't latch onto it. But the film is really good, and the director makes a really bold choice of doing kind of a point of view filmmaking, but it really is important. You understand that it has to be that way, and it's really beautifully done and heart-wrenching and great acting and a suspenseful story and twists and turns in good ways, not just manipulative ways. I really thought Nickel Boys was beautiful. That's my runner-up. But my number one is to use Sean Baker for Honora, which is Honora is to me so far and above every other movie made last year. Just look, let's just call it a night and give it all to Honora. Um, I'm in love with Honora. That movie made me feel something I haven't felt in a very long time, several years at least, where I had no idea what was going to happen. It was action-packed, which I typically don't even care about. It was emotionally true and real and unpredictable, and the performances were so great. And my friend Tracy Newman this week said, Honora is a 30s screwball comedy, and I couldn't agree more, but it's more than a 30s screwball comedy. It's a 30s screwball comedy in frame, and then every other kind of movie baked into that. And Honora is my win. Now let's quickly go through the other movies. The Brutalist, my review, brutal. I didn't like that movie at all. I actively hated that movie. I saw it in a packed movie theater. It's 3.5 hours. When it got to the second act, why was it so long? It did not need to be that long. I think it was so long because they didn't know what to do. There's a rape scene. I don't mind a rape scene if it makes sense. Um, but it was so egregious and pretentious and pandering. I felt the film was. I hated The Brutalist, and it was brutal to watch it. A Complete Unknown, aptly titled movie about Bob Dylan, the Bob Dylan biopic. Still a complete unknown. Yes, unknowable. Um, Bob Dylan, he's an enigma, and I don't even know if he knows about himself. And I don't know if he knows when he's writing his lyrics, is he a genius or is it an accident? I don't know. And I felt very primed to see it because I read Positively Fourth Street in the last year. I've read a lot about Bob Dylan. And I like Bob Dylan. And I like that era. And it was fun to see that era reenacted in a well-crafted manner on the screen. But I didn't know anything more about Bob Dylan at the end than I did at the beginning, which is what's happening there? Who knows? Um, But maybe that was the point because the title is a complete unknown. Okay, Conclave I saw twice. Of course, you know, I come from the Catholic tradition and I'm a sucker for anything Catholic. And of course, I think about conclaves, and now that Pope Francis appears to be on his deathbed, there's going to be another conclave in which I have great fear that it's going to be a conservative successor like Sarah from Africa, or it will be so bad if it's a conservative. So I care about conclave. I care about the Catholics. I have a lot of affection for Catholics and a lot of disdain for Catholics. But the pomp and circumstance, the outfits, you can't beat it. The Catholics have it. And so of course I loved all that. And this is what I have to say about Conclave. If only, if friggin' only. But I'm afraid it's so much pettier than that and how it was shown. I'm not saying there aren't wonderful archbishops. Surely there are some. But that was a very positive view of the archbishops, from what I understand. And I know, I wouldn't say a ton, but I know more than probably most people. And I would say it was not accurately reflected. Okay. But it looked good. It was a good movie. Dune Part Two. Yes, this year I not only watched Dune Part One, I also watched Dune Part Two and read the book. What's his name? Herbert Francis. Anyway. And I had a hard time with all of it. I have a hard time with science fiction. It looked beautiful. I liked Dune Part One more than Dune Part Two. Dune Part Two, it was hard to hold my interest. Okay, Amelia Perez. Oh Lord, how I hated Amelia Perez. And I have good friends whose taste I respect, who liked it a lot. Amelia Perez is about a Mexican drugs cartel overlord who wants to transition to be a woman, but also needs to go in disguise and wants to fake their own death. And ugh, so ridiculous. And I can't say that I'm an expert on trans people's transitioning experiences, but I would say that have many people I know who have done that. And this was so far from an accurate portrayal of somebody transitioning. There's literally just a song of all the surgeries, and yet nothing about the emotions behind it. Also, the movie's kind of about this person who becomes a woman and then decides to redeem themselves by helping people who have been disappeared in Mexico through the drug cartels, but it's instigated by a woman walking up to Amelia during a lunch and handing her a flyer. Like that's the first time we're supposed to believe that that person has thought about the consequences of the way they've made their money by killing a lot of people or disappearing a lot of people. And I just didn't buy it for a second. And then I kept thinking, God, this is such an awful view of Mexico and so inaccurate. I mean, yes, Mexico has those drug cartels, yes, but it's like, it felt like a cartoon version of that. And I looked it up and it turns out they didn't even film it in Mexico. I don't even know if the director has visited Mexico. It's like Mexico as an idea. Okay, so I'm very much anti Amelia Perez. I'm Still Here. That's the Brazilian movie about the woman speaking of disappeared people, the husband was disappeared during a right-wing takeover in Brazil 35 years ago. Of course, it's painful to watch for many reasons because that happened, because people were disappeared. And then it's all about the wife of this person spending like 30 years trying to figure out what happened to him and then getting the government to acknowledge what happened to him. It's so beautifully portrayed. It's so wonderful and evocative of this time in the 70s and 80s in Brazil. And God, it's just an incredible movie. I would almost make that Best Picture, but I almost don't count it because it's a Brazilian film, so I feel like that should be in the international film category. Can't I vote for it there? Nickel Boys I already talked to about The Substance. That is the most ridiculous movie. Now, just today I was in an argument with a friend who thought it was great. It was a big romp and crazy. I said, I think the substance is this woman, the director and writer, had a good idea and just didn't know what to do with it. And then got Demi Moore to be naked. Um, yeah. No, the substance is ridiculous. It should have been much shorter. They didn't know how to carry this idea out. I don't know how you would have. I don't have answers, but it just felt like an idea in search of a movie. And Demi Moore naked at 60. Okay. Wicked. I almost feel like Wicked shouldn't be in this category because Wicked is more of a ride than it is a movie, I would say. Even though I liked it, I enjoyed it. But it didn't feel like what I'm looking for in a movie, much less what I'm looking for in a great movie. For example, I felt no emotions. I felt nothing. I felt nothing for anyone. And the play, I loved the play. I thought the play was great. So, I liked it. And I really liked Ariana Grande. I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, directing, obviously, my award goes to you, Sean Baker. The Julia Sweeney Academy Award goes to you, Sean Baker, for directing Anora. And the runner-up is James Mangold's A Complete Unknown. I filled all this out last night. So somebody was like, oh, did I say that? Yes, I gave it to James Mangold as a runner-up. The Brutalist, please. Amelia Perez should never have even been nominated. And The Substance. The Substance was so bad. Okay. Actress in a leading role. My runner-up is Fernanda Torres. She's the star of I'm Still Here, the Brazilian movie. But what I would give it to is Mickey Madison for Nora. She's so good. She is what you want in a young Hollywood actress. She can do it all. Her look is so, she can be at once odd looking and incredibly beautiful. She can be a young girl and really sexy. She seems so real in this movie. This performance, God damn it, she deserves to take home. Well, if she doesn't get an Academy Award, she's gotten the Julia Sweeney Academy Award. Okay. I can't say enough about her. Oh my God, please make her a big star. Whoever out there can make her a big star. I guess she's a big star. Okay. Actor in a leading role. My runner-up is Timothée Chalamet, A Complete Unknown. He did do a very good job. He is a big movie star, Timothée Chalamet. Okay. But my award, might be a surprise, is to you, Sebastian Stan, for The Apprentice, where he plays Trump. And the movie is not perfect because they don't go after Trump nearly enough for his financial crimes. The fact that he never pays anyone, the fact that he forces people into legal action and then bleeds them dry and then pays them $1. All of that was not in the movie nearly enough. But Sebastian Stan, I'm a big fan. And I liked him in A Different Man. Is that what it's called? A Different Man. Anyway, I thought he was really good. So this is for you, Sebastian Stan. Okay, actress in a supporting role. Runner-up is Monica Barbaro in A Complete Unknown. She was really great. But I give it to Ariana Grande for Wicked. That's right. You know why? Because she was funnier than I expected. And she was funnier than she even needed to be. She was really funny. And I give a lot of points for funny. Okay. Actor in a supporting role. The runner-up is Jeremy Strong in The Apprentice, who plays Roy Cohn. He did such an incredible job. He was so good on Succession, and then he's really good in The Apprentice. But the award goes to Yura Borisov. I should have figured out how to say his name, for Nora. He also needs to be a big star, Hollywood. You need to start casting him right and left. I just think his performance was subtle, unexpected, deep, funny, surprising. He has such a presence. Oh, he deserves it. Okay. Original screenplay. Runner-up is A Real Pain. Okay, that's the Jesse Eisenberg movie. Kieran Culkin, who I saw at the SNL 50th, but didn't realize it was him. That's part of my SNL 50th video I'm making for Substack, but I've been working on it. Maybe it'll be done in the next couple days. Um, A Real Pain is a small little film about two cousins who go to Germany or Poland to visit where their relatives are from, their grandparents, and they visit a concentration camp. And yet it's kind of a light, funny romp, but also real and packs a punch emotionally. And what Jesse Eisenberg accomplished with A Real Pain is a really difficult thing to accomplish. So I give it to him. Okay. Oh no, I give it to Honora. But if I didn't give it to Honora, I would give it to A Real Pain. Okay. Adapted screenplay. My runners up. Oh, I have three runners up. Sing Sing, which I thought was really good. I didn't know that was adapted. A Complete Unknown. I also didn't know that was adapted. And Conclave. Also didn't know that was adapted. But what I give it to is Nickel Boys. Okay, animated feature. Okay, the animated features were so good this year. It was the crazy amount of fantastic filmmaking. What's nominated is Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot. I saw all of them. Loved Inside Out 2. I expected not to. I don't know why, because Inside Out was so great. I just thought Inside Out 2 couldn't be as great, and it was. Memoir of a Snail is so beautiful. I keep thinking of this line in it. You can only understand your life backwards, but you have to live it forwards. So great. But there was one movie that was so far and away above all the others, like almost in an unfair way, where it's just one of those movies that's so much better than all the others that it shouldn't even be against other things because it's so good. And so it's really a piece of perfect art, and that is Flow. And I think that's from Latvia. But it's about some animals in a catastrophic environmental situation who behave like animals. And they're not talking animals that learn lessons. They're just animals reacting to what's happening. And the theme, I thought it was like a Yasuhiro Ozu theme. And that's my favorite director, who's from Japan, who directed movies in the 60s, 70s, or the from the 20s to 1960. Or maybe 1964. Anyway, it doesn't matter. To me, the theme of Ozu's movies, which I love, is one thing happens after another, and then it's over. Okay. that that is how I see life. I don't see life made up of plots and acts and coming to understand things that are meaningful. I see life as one thing after another. Sometimes you get a good moment, mostly one thing after another, and then it's over. And that is sort of the theme. And I know that might not seem like it's a good advertisement for Flow, but please see Flow. And the other accomplishment of Flow is that there is no dialogue. The animals just make sounds like animals make. Um, so anyone in the world can see this movie. Any person, like they've made a movie that doesn't need subtitles. It's just a perfect movie that does what movies or any great art should do, which is reflect on life the way it is and make you see how fleeting and poignant all of it is. And that is Flow. I almost would make Flow win over Honora. Okay, documentary feature I can't do because I have not seen Porcelain War, but I have seen Black Box Diaries, No Other Land, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, and Sugarcane. All of them are really great. I have one note on them, which is they need to explain more. There's this whole thing in high-end documentaries, not like the stuff that's on the History Channel or the terrible documentaries that are on streaming all over the place. But the high-end documentaries where they just aren't going to explain anything. You're just going to figure it out. You're just wandering around inside this experience. And normally I kind of like that. But I feel like with a lot of the documentaries I saw, it was like, please throw up a chyron of what the fuck we're watching right now. Like, what happened? What is happening? Um, but other than that, okay, so I have not seen, what have I not seen? I've not seen Porcelain War. That's about Ukraine. But if I had to give it without seeing, keeping Porcelain War out, which I do, oh, soundtrack to a coup d'etat was great. I didn't know a lot of that. Sugarcane, probably sugar. Oh, I don't know. I have to wait. I'm not going to do that one now. Okay, international feature film. Okay, this one I'm still deciding on, people. I'm still here, obviously. It'll probably get it. Well, I don't want to think about what it'll probably get because I don't know. It's a great movie. I'm still here. But I just watched this week The Girl with the Needle, which is a Danish movie but shot by a Polish Swedish director. What is it with the Poles and their ability to see light? Do you just get something when you're born in Poland that makes you able to see light in a way nobody else can? Okay, The Girl with the Needle. Oh my God, the runner-up is The Seed of the Sacred Fig, which is an Iranian movie that had to be released through Germany. It's great filmmaking because it's exciting. What am I giving it to? The Seed of the Sacred Fig. And then Flow is on there, but I'm taking Flow off because I've already given Flow animated. Okay. I think I'm gonna give The Girl with the Needle. Oh my God. Okay, first of all, The Girl with the Needle is so sad and depressing. It's almost unwatchable. It's in black and white. It's around World War One. A girl gets knocked up. She can't get an abortion. Horrible things happen right and left. She meets a serial killer. Okay, but it's so beautiful. The performances are so amazing. And it, of course, speaks to the horrendous situation that women are in when they can't control their own reproduction and what lengths they'll go to try to make themselves have a better life and what a trap they're in. And it's just important yet sad. Very, very sad. But I would still recommend it. I'm giving it the Julie Sweeney Academy Award. Award to you, the girl with the needle. Okay, makeup and hairstyling. Oh, Nosferatu. Okay, Nosferatu was really great, but not funny. Okay, should it be funny? I think the guy who made Nosferatu, and I can't remember his name, but he also made The Northman, which I saw last year. Wow, does he not have a sense of humor? He is so serious. And Nosferatu is beautiful, but it doesn't, like, when I think of the movie Poor Things, and by the way, Emma Stone is a big part of my SNL 50th story, so you'll have to tune in for that. Um, Poor Things, which is kind of a riff on Frankenstein that came out last year, but of a female Frankenstein. And then, of course, Nosferatu is a riff on Dracula. Um, Poor Things is so friggin' funny. It makes a point, a really poignant point. It has a point of view, Poor Things, and it's hilarious. I will say the first half hour is not hilarious and I almost failed, but once I understood what the movie was up to, I was so on board. I've talked to a lot of people who turned it off after 20 minutes. I thought it was really great once I understood what the real point of view of the filmmakers were for Poor Things. That's last year. Okay, Nosferatu. I was sitting in the theater watching Nosferatu, admiring many things, how beautiful it is, the art design, the everything. Really amazing. Not that funny. And it's like, I really feel like if you don't have a lilting sense of humor in your writing, even when you're writing the saddest things, you're not for me. Like, I need to feel that even in The Woman with the Needle, which is a very sad movie. There was something just sort of ridiculously, okay, I can only say that I have this sense that the filmmaker is somebody who laughs, not something I think about the filmmaker who made Nosferatu and The Northman. Okay. Okay, what else do I have here? Costume design. I give it to Nosferatu. Conclave is the runner-up because, but you know, the Catholic Church, they just kind of give you costume design. Okay. Cinematography. Oh, here's an omission. Okay, I saw Maria. That's the Angelina Jolie movie about Maria Callas. God, that movie got robbed. It's only up for cinematography, She gave such a good performance in that. She absolutely should have been nominated. When I think that, Demi Moore is getting nominated, and who else? Well, I'm not really against anyone else except for maybe the Amelia Perez woman. But Angelina Jolie was so good, and the movie was so good. And of course, I suspect that if it were about a guy and not a woman, Maria Callas, it would have gotten a lot more attention. And maybe Angelina Jolie, I don't know what her stand, I don't know about politics in Hollywood regarding Angelina Jolie, but I thought she did a great job, and I thought it was a beautiful movie. And I give this to you, Maria, for the Julia Sweeney Academy Award. Production design. Oh, Nosferatu again. I guess I'm giving it a lot to Nosferatu, a movie I don't think is very funny, but is beautiful. And my runner-up is Conclave. Documentary, short film. Okay, I saw everything, people. I saw the documentary short films. I saw the live action short films. I saw the animated short films. And yes, I went to movie theaters to see them all. Okay, documentary. I saw at the Academy last Sunday. I went with my agent, Jonathan Howard, who I love. And we watched all the documentaries. I had already seen The Only Girl in the Orchestra. That's on Netflix. Definitely worth seeing. It was great seeing it again. It was actually better seeing it a second time. But I would say, of all the documentary short films that are up, it's the most lightweight one. I vote for The Incident, which is about a shooting in Chicago that actually happened just as I was leaving Chicago. A black guy, of course, got shot by a bunch of police officers who thought he had a gun and thought he was grabbing his gun, but really he was grabbing the paper that gave him the license to have the gun. And then how all the policemen immediately start narrating their version of events to exonerate themselves, like almost compulsively, as soon as like, well, I needed to. I thought my life was in danger. Oh, I thought I wasn't going to see my kids tonight. Like, and you just watch it happen. And I feel like, having been a person who's had a lot of crises in their life and also done a lot of one-person shows, I know about that obsessive narration that happens. And I'm not even saying I'm immune to it. I'm just saying that this short film really shows you how people do that. And that is called The Incident. The runner-up for that is I Am Ready, Warden, about a guy on death row. And get ready to cry. Very good. Okay, short film, live action. The Last Ranger. It's a African film, maybe Botswana, about poachers who get rhino horns because some people think when you grind it up, it makes you more powerful or something. And the rangers who are trying to protect these rhinoceroses. It was really beautiful, but there was a lot of beautiful ones. Anuha, that was the runner-up for me of that, about a girl in India who is working in a factory making dresses and how she's trying to get out. Okay, that was good. Animated short film. Oh, I give it to Yuck. It's a cute French animated film, less than a half an hour, about kids who see adults kissing and they think it's gross, but then later they think maybe it's not so gross. Maybe they want to kiss somebody too, in a really sweet way. And then there was a Japanese one called Magic Candies, about these little candies, and when you put them in your mouth, it makes you have different experiences, and it's very sweet. Okay, I just have to add, oh God, how long has this been? I don't know. I think it's too long. Okay. Okay, Joker 2, I thought was great. Everyone hated it. I thought it was wonderful. I can't believe it got dissed and no one liked it. To me, it was a really complicated, nuanced movie and a musical, and Lady Gaga was great. It was great. What the hell? Joker 2 was great. I feel like people are going to be watching Joker 2 in 50 years, and many movies out now that people think are great, like The Substance, isn't going to be watched. Okay. Oh, My Old Ass. Okay, you can see My Old Ass on Netflix. Here's my theory about My Old Ass. If it had been two men, well, it's about a young girl, and it's deceptively slight and short. Economy, people. Economy in filmmaking. It's less than 90 minutes, I think. It's so good, My Old Ass, about this young girl who finds out that her older self can contact her, and her older self is warning her against going out with this certain guy. Okay. Also, she's gay. So there's a lot of things happening. and she's young, about to go to college. It's so perfect. It's as perfect as a real pain, but a real pain is about guys doing something, and my old ass is about women, and I just think it gets overlooked. My friend Gino said he thought it was because it's called My Old Ass because you can't advertise that widely. They couldn't advertise it in Milwaukee, for example. Okay, and then so Joker 2, Maria, I think got shafted. I'm sure there's a lot of other movies. I haven't seen Hard Truths yet by Mike Lee. Everyone's upset that there weren't nominations based on that. I probably agree with them, but I haven't seen it yet. Um, in the documentary category, there's a movie called The Remarkable Life of Ebeline. It's a Danish Swedish movie documentary. It's on Netflix. It's about a kid who games who anyway, I don't even want to explain it. It's so good. That's what should be on the list and winning. Although there was lots of good documentaries. Okay, that's it, people. Look out for my SNL 50th. I'm working on that. And I'm excited for the Academy Awards. All right, bye.